Hello, my dear friends, and welcome. As we grow older, we accumulate a lifetime of experiences. Some bring us joy, while others teach us valuable lessons. All of them shape who we are today. But aging isn't just about the years we collect. It comes with emotional and mental challenges that many of us don't expect. At some point, you might find yourself asking, how can I continue to earn the respect of those around me? How can I ensure my later years are filled with love, peace, and meaningful connections? The answer lies in how we communicate, how we behave, and who we choose to surround ourselves with. These three areas can determine whether we move into this stage of life feeling valued and fulfilled, or struggling with loneliness and regret. It's not just about growing older, it's about growing wiser. It's about building relationships that bring joy and creating peace within ourselves. As we age, there are certain words we should avoid, certain actions to be mindful of, and types of people to distance ourselves from to protect our emotional and mental well-being. These might seem like small changes, but they have a huge impact on how we experience life in our golden years. Many people unknowingly fall into common traps, saying things that push their loved ones away, engaging in behaviors that make them feel isolated, or keeping company with those who drain their energy and happiness. Once we recognize these patterns, we can shift our habits and set ourselves up for a life that's both peaceful and purposeful. So let's explore these simple yet powerful principles together. In this video, you'll learn how to earn and maintain the respect of those around you, cultivate deeper and more fulfilling relationships, and live with intention, dignity, and grace. Because aging is not just about making it through the years. It's about embracing them with wisdom, confidence, and a heart full of joy. 3 things never to say. 1. Don't speak of others' weaknesses. Have you ever noticed how some people just can't help themselves? The moment they sit down for coffee, their mouths start running like an old radio stuck on the gossip channel. Did you hear about Nancy's son? He still hasn't found a job. Or, oh, and Mary, she's gained so much weight since last summer. Bless her heart. Before you know it, the entire conversation turns into a full-on critique session, focusing on everyone's flaws, mistakes, and bad decisions. Let's be honest, we've all been there. Maybe we've even joined in once or twice. After all, it can feel harmless at the moment, right? But here's the thing. Speaking about others' weaknesses doesn't just hurt them. It hurts us too. Today, I'm going to explain why keeping quiet about others' shortcomings is one of the smartest things you can do for your own peace, happiness, and relationships. Nobody is perfect. Not you, not me. And certainly not that lady down the street who always acts like she has everything together. We all have our flaws, make mistakes, and have moments we're not proud of. But do we want to be remembered for our worst moments? Of course not, and neither does anyone else. Wise women who have mastered the art of aging gracefully understand that pointing out others' flaws doesn't make us look better. It just makes us look unkind. What's more, the ripple effect of negative words can be far-reaching. A careless comment might seem small to us, but to the person on the receiving end, it could linger for years. Imagine how many relationships have been strained, how many friendships have faded, all because of a few thoughtless words spoken in the wrong place at the wrong time. People never forget how you make them feel. If you're someone who constantly highlights others' weaknesses, don't be surprised if people start avoiding you or hesitate to open up around you. But here's the good news. The opposite is also true. When you choose to focus on people's strengths, when you lift them up instead of tearing them down, you create an environment where love, trust, and respect can thrive. 2. Don't brag about yourself in the past. Have you ever met someone who just can't stop talking about how great they used to be? Back in my day, I was the best cook in town. I used to have the most beautiful figure. Men would turn their heads on the street. Oh, you should have seen me work. I practically ran the whole company. And after about 5 minutes of listening, you start wondering, if they were so amazing, why do they have to keep reminding us? Don't get me wrong, we all have accomplishments we're proud of. We've lived full lives, raised families, worked hard, and overcome challenges. But here's a little secret. The more you brag, the less impressive it sounds. In fact, talking about yourself too much can have the opposite effect. It makes people tune out, roll their eyes, or worse, start avoiding you at social gatherings. There's an old saying, if you have to tell people how great you are, maybe you're not that great after all. Truly accomplished people don't need to announce their success. Their actions, wisdom, and the way they carry themselves speak louder than any words could ever. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones constantly reminding you of how wonderful they were? Or are they the ones who listen, encourage, and inspire without needing to steal the spotlight? Bragging isn't just tiring for others, it's exhausting for you too. When you keep talking about your past achievements, it can create pressure to keep proving yourself, even when you don't have to. Humility doesn't mean downplaying your accomplishments. It simply means letting them shine without needing constant validation. Instead of telling people how successful you used to be, let them see how wise, kind, and confident you are now. A quiet kind of confidence is far more attractive than a long-winded speech about past glories. 3. Don't speak meaningless or worthless things. Have you ever been stuck in a conversation where someone just keeps talking and talking without actually saying anything? Maybe they repeat the same story for the third time this week or ramble on about their neighbor's cousin's dog, who might have a hip problem. We've all been there, right? All the while, you're sitting there nodding politely, wondering if it's too early to pretend you have a phone call. The truth is, speaking less but making it count is one of the greatest skills you can develop. Talking too much, especially about things that don't matter, doesn't make people listen more. In fact, it makes them stop listening altogether. There's a story about a little frog that croaked all day and night. His throat got dry, his belly felt bitter, and yet no one cared for his noise. Meanwhile, a small bird sang just 3 notes each morning, and people loved it, even feeling grateful for its song. The lesson here is simple. It's not about how much you say. It's about saying the right things at the right time. Wise women don't waste their breath on meaningless chatter. They understand that the value of words doesn't come from quantity, but from depth, kindness, and purpose. Next time you're tempted to speak, ask yourself, is this helpful? Is this kind? Does this need to be said? If the answer isn't a strong yes, maybe it's best to let silence do the talking. 3 things never to do. 1. Don't compare yourself to others. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through old photos or watching someone else's life and thinking, wow, she's aging so much better than I am? Or why does she have such a big family visiting her all the time while I sit here alone? Let me tell you a little secret. Comparing yourself to others is the fastest way to unhappiness. We've all done it. Maybe it's looking at a friend who seems to have the perfect retirement, or a neighbor who still looks like she walked out of a fashion magazine, or a woman at church whose family never seems to miss a Sunday visit. But here's the truth. Life isn't a competition. Everyone has their own journey, their own challenges, and their own timeline. Comparing your life to someone else's is like comparing a rose to a sunflower. Both are beautiful, but they bloom in their own way, in their own time. Instead of looking at what others have, what if we focused on our own progress? Think about who you were 5, 10, or even 20 years ago. Have you grown wiser? Have you overcome hardships? Have you created memories that are worth more than any material success? If you must compare, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to someone else today. True happiness doesn't come from having what others have. It comes from appreciating what you already have. Have you ever met someone who seems determined to bring others down? Maybe it's that one neighbor who never has a kind word to say, or a distant relative who thrives on gossip and negativity. Hurting others never leads to happiness. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Instead of focusing on negative emotions like jealousy or resentment, why not celebrate others' success? If a friend buys a new house, wonderful. May it be filled with love and laughter. If a neighbor's grandkids visit more often, good for them. What a blessing to have strong family ties. When you choose kindness over negativity, you're not just making someone else's day better. You're creating peace in your own heart. 3. Don't chase after meaningless or worthless gains. Have you ever seen a cat chasing a laser pointer? It pounces, it leaps, it runs in circles, only to realize it's never actually catching anything. Now, how many of us spend our lives doing the same thing? Chasing after things we think will make us happy, only to find out they don't. True happiness doesn't come from how much you have, but from how much you appreciate what you already have. A bigger house won't fill an empty heart. A designer handbag won't carry your worries away. Instead of chasing after things that won't matter in the long run, let's invest in what truly lasts. Laughter, friendship, family, and the joy of giving. In the end, aging gracefully isn't about simply surviving the years. It's about thriving in them, embracing each day with wisdom, kindness, and purpose. As you continue your journey, remember these simple yet powerful lessons. Choose kindness over gossip, celebrate progress over comparison, and live with intention, peace, and joy. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you found these insights valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. What's one key lesson that stood out to you today? Let's continue this conversation and learn from one another. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.